Welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast.
Kevin's eyes look insane, but he's got new hair. Virginia is a witch, and she farts in her chair. Jason is a spaz who's got an old man's ass. Welcome to the After the Show podcast.
Yeah, here we go. Welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast here for Friday.
Yeah.
Virginia skedaddled out of town. She has got her wedding going on in Louisiana. She's going to Baton Rouge. She's going to be popping in New Orleans, I'm sure. It's only like an hour away. So she's going to be doing that. And then she's not back till Tuesday.
So there's no kids that's supposed to be at the wedding. So that means people are going to get turned. Is that what that pretty much means? They don't want kids getting in the way.
Yeah, probably.
Running around, cock blocking people from hooking up.
Yeah, I would assume so. It sounds like they're trying to cut costs. They're kind of like doing that. It's an older couple, not some youngins in their 20s that are doing this. And so, yeah, I think they are where they are. Doing it on Sunday, which that's an odd day for a wedding. But I guess it's cheaper to do it that way. So, yeah, it's all probably to cut down on costs and all that good stuff. So she'll be doing that. We'll see her again on Tuesday. So that's her weekend. Don't really have anything too big planned this weekend. There's some good football. So that's my weekends in the fall. Bird, you got anything going down?
I do. I've got some stuff going on tonight where I'm working on some snack pack music. And then tomorrow morning, me and Denny's will be at the Rust Market in Lake Park.
Okay.
Just kind of milling around.
Okay.
If anyone wants to come on out.
Okay.
Jen's making some pottery.
Oh, okay. Nice.
You want to come out and help support her. She does a great job.
Mm-hmm.
And it's cozy. It's my hometown, so I'm always going to stick up for it. I love it.
Yeah.
It sort of reminds me of like a kind of like a lower version of Stars Hollow.
Stars Hollow.
From Gilmore Girls.
Oh, okay.
And when I say lower version, that sounds like a diss. I didn't mean it.
Yeah.
I didn't mean for it to
So
be
it's a shitty
diss.
version of that
No,
town?
that's not what I meant. Not as... No, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I love it, Kevin. So,
Okay, you just love it.
But, yeah.
Yeah, that's one of those places that is changing a lot.
I
Lake
know.
Park. I know it's designed all up and down that corridor, especially there on Broadway. They're talking about putting up some big old towers and stuff like that. So it might be happening. You might have to legit go in there and try to run for mayor if you want to keep it a small town.
I know, and I thought you had to live in the town. If I ran for mayor in Lake Park, I think I'd have to move to Lake Park. Is that how that works?
I think it's different with each municipality, but I think a majority of them that I know is a thing in West Palm Beach because that was the argument that kept one guy off the ballot to run for mayor. So our West Palm Beach mayor went uncontested.
Could you imagine if I did run for mayor of Lake Park and KVJ Nation was allowed to vote for me?
That would definitely help out.
That would definitely help out.
Yeah.
That would help out greatly.
Yeah, unfortunately, our company does not allow you to run for public office.
Oh, I got to read my contract.
Yeah. Yeah, can't do it. You'd have to quit first. So we got the Taylor Swift concert going on this weekend. So that is the big deal that I know a lot of people are going to be doing tonight, tomorrow, and on Sunday. We got Kelvin who sent us an email here. A jealous Swiftie. It said, yes, I just want to call out the Eras Tour contest that was blatantly rigged because I didn't win. I knew I should have used my wife's name because there was never a chance for a male Swiftie to win since all the winners of this contest and the past two were all women. Nonstop listening on the app for weeks, putting up with some of the shittiest songs in your rotation, and it was all for nothing. Fuck Benson Boone, fuck Noah Kahan, and fuck all the country music on your station. I'm never listening to WRMF again. Love you guys, and I'll catch you on Monday.
I love it.
P.S. for real, shout out to the winners who also put in the work. I hope everybody has fun at their respective shows this weekend. So, yeah, hopefully we'll see some of the stuff. It's going to be all over social media this weekend. You're going to see your fill of Taylor Swift sing-along. So get through the weekend. If you're over Taylor Swift, it'll hopefully start cooling down next week.
I know there are some people who want that.
Oh, yeah. There are a lot of people just like, oh, please, let's get this thing over with. Fancy said, I am suffering from PTSD from the Taylor Swift VIP ticket contest. Every time I hear songs now from Sabrina, Selena, Katie and Ed, and Post Malone, I have to remind myself the contest is over and not tap the track. Anyone else? Okay, I could see that. Yeah, I mean, if you're one of those people who put in 800 I think our winners, they had 1,200.
It's weird the things you do get used to as far as when it comes to technology and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just the other day, again, in real time, someone said something, and I went to grab the remote to rewind it, and I'm like, dude, that's a real person. You can't rewind life, man.
Yeah.
I'm trained to go back if I miss something.
You do.
To grab for the remote to scan it.
Yeah.
And you look insane when you do that, too.
Right. Yeah, that's why everything's just second nature. And that's why, for me, I hate whenever they change anything. Like the video editing app that I use on my phone, they changed something on it this last week. And,
isn't that the worst?
and just like now you got to get used to it all over again. And you were flying through it. I'd be like, and then this is all great. Now I get like, okay, where is this thing again?
That's
it's so confusing.
how I feel when I go to fucking Publix and they change all the aisles up on me. I go, where is the cheese bread? It's corn?
Yeah,
What?
I know. No, it's. I hate whenever anything gets moved around.
Me too.
Because you're right, it's so tough. Yeah, you completely forget it. So, we were talking too about who went the furthest for a concert. There were people in South Florida. We got an email, a voice message actually from some girls from Costa Rica that were here. And they were looking for an extra ticket. So they're calling all the radio stations, I'm sure, and trying to get one. I'm like, yeah, sorry. And Jessica said, yeah, we went to Warsaw, Poland, and then had tickets to Vienna, Austria to see Taylor Swift, but that one got canceled. How about that? I mean, that's so bad. You're flying around the globe just to go see the concerts. Yeah, we were talking about the greatest concerts, too. That was kind of fun because there were just some really legendary shows to check out. Somebody had mentioned, do you remember, because you were here, the Jimmy Buffett concert he did at Miami Marine Stadium back in, I think it was the 80s? Because I went to Country Bay Music Festival last November, and they had it at Miami Marine Stadium, and they kept playing that video over and over again because they're still talking about what to do with it. It was stadium. It's right there on Rickenbacker Causeway.
Yeah, I have no fucking clue.
No clue.
No.
Don't that show didn't register for you?
No, but I wasn't a huge Jimmy Buffett fan growing up. My dad used to play me Pencil Thin Mustache on the guitar.
Okay.
And some Come Monday.
Okay.
And Margaritaville.
Right.
My dad loved Buffett. Shit, I just realized that.
The thing that's cool about it is it was a floating stage.
Oh, okay.
And so, because what they used the Miami Marine Stadium for was a lot of speedboat shows and things like that, people water skiing. And so you had a floating stage, and then there's just all these boats all around the stage, and it was just packed. It was Jimmy Buffett, probably at the height of his fame, too. You know, because it was in the 80s when he was doing Margaritaville and all those songs.
You ever hear a song Pencil Thin Mustache?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
That's a jam.
Yeah, I had the Jimmy Buffett greatest hits back in the 90s and would listen to it. I never was a Buffett guy. I went to didn't even know what I was getting myself into. Went to go see him in Cincinnati. I was at Ohio University, and some of the guys in my dorm were from Cincinnati, and they're like, oh my gosh, like Jimmy Buffett is it. I'm like, no way. And I guess he loves Cincinnati, and Cincinnati loves Jimmy Buffett. And so the shows were just absolutely insane. And he came down from Cincinnati. So he name dropped Cincinnati in, one of his songs, Fins, I think it is. And I went, and it was raining. And it was still amazing. It was when I was in college. So we were sliding down the lawn in the mud. And I'm just like, what a great cut. So I got into Jimmy Buffett after seeing that show.
You get to go on a road trip with Jimmy Buffett, Jimi Hendrix, or Jimmy Fallon. Who do you go with?
Probably, I think Buffett would be cool.
Okay.
He strikes me as a cool dude.
You could have really tanked that question if you would have said Fallon.
Yeah, not going there.
Okay, just make it.
Oh my gosh. No, that'd be
I wanted to
rough.
throw one landmine in there.
That'd be rough. We'd have to keep the music up. No talking. Yeah, my daughter Kaylin said Justin Bieber was an epic concert. Yeah, nobody went Justin Bieber. I wonder if that would get any votes. Yeah, probably not this audience. Got email here from Eric. He said, yeah, I wanted to help clarify. You were talking about Disney adult hate. We were talking about trends that you just don't really get. And somebody said, yeah, the adults without kids want to go to Disney and go so much. Now, Eric said nothing's wrong with adults going to Disney. It's just when Disney is an adult's whole personality. You can normally tell by the Mickey ears in their profile pictures, or if there's an obnoxious amount of stickers on their car. These types of adults typically don't have kids either. It just feels weird to me.
The obsession, the obsessed Disney fan.
Right, yeah. So that is, I mean, it's like that couple, they were adults, and they were into that Club 33 that's suing Disney about getting revoked because Disney says the guy got all hammered and acted a fool. And so they booted him out of the membership, and they were going 85 times a year.
Yeah, I don't
Isn't
get
that crazy?
I just know so many adults that really love Disney World. That's why I'm shocked that other adults can't believe other adults like it. It doesn't at all. I don't get how that weirds you out. I kind of don't get that trend.
I guess you're just asking yourself, I don't see what is in it. What is it you like about it?
It's because it's an escape. It's rides.
Yeah.
It's
nostalgia.
You might like the food. You might like the whole idea of going there.
Yeah.
Just the folklore of it.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people are getting psyched for this Universal Epic Universe theme park. They're going to be opening that May 22nd in Orlando. It's going to be their largest property yet. 5 themed worlds in this thing. They announced it in 2019, and they have put a ton of money into it. So that may be a game changer when they put that thing in. So that's May 22nd, just in time for summer.
I'm an Epcot whore. I love Epcot.
The adult beverages.
I mean, dude, I just love Soarin. I love.
Really?
I just.
You're serious about that?
Yes.
That's really. I always thought you were just trolling. I was like, you really do like that.
I love.
What is it you like so much about that?
I don't know, man. I just feel so free up there.
Yeah?
It's peaceful. I think it's pretty. I know everyone busts my dick about loving Soarin.
Are you massively stoned?
No, I love. I've been on it stoned. I've been on it completely sober.
Okay.
I think it's a very cozy ride.
For real, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's it's nice, I guess. You have a true passion then for it.
I think I do.
Okay.
I really enjoy that ride a lot. I bring it up enough. So
yeah, I was gonna say I always thought you were trolling.
No.
You're dead serious. Okay. He loves him some Soarin. How about that? Now, I was a little surprised by this today. You had some friends that were debating whether or not you buckle in your dog. And a majority of people do not. 60+% did not when we asked. So it's not normal, but maybe it should be standard. Thomas says, I live in Sweden, and it's a law to put a belt or put your dog in a car cage. One of the two. They've got to be secured inside.
Okay, so the one dude had a valid debate then.
Yeah. And also got an email from David. He said, I heard the discussion today, and he said, yeah, it's absolutely necessary, but you got to do it properly. I got a picture here of my dog, and yeah, it's in a harness, and then there is a contraption on top of that kind of clicks onto the first part of the harness. And somebody said, yeah, we do it with the harness, and then just put a bed in there, and the dog just kind of lays down.
Look at that dog. Oh,
yeah,
look at
that's a great dog, isn't it?
Look at that snout.
That's a cool dog.
Oh,
yeah.
Snouted out loud.
Uh-huh. Yep. And David, they went to the Palm Beach Kennel Club, and their dog Hunter there raced, and they got to meet Suits while they're there.
Okay.
Yeah, Suits with that long hair. Now, Amanda's got a question. She said, while cat sitting for my mom, I noticed she didn't have a bed for her cat. And I've bonded with this cat now, and I want the cat to have one. Would it be weird if I bought her one before they got back from vacation?
And it's not your cat?
It's her mom's cat. She's cat
I mean,
sitting.
it's your mom. If you can't buy it, it'd be one thing if it was your neighbor and you're watching the cat. Family's family.
Yeah, I maybe wait. So it is kind of odd when you come back and you've changed a routine or something's different. I would wait till mom gets back, gets with the cat, buy the bed, give it to your mom, and be like, I had such a great time. I love this cat, and here's a bed. And then mom can decide what to do with it.
I'd be so pumped if someone was watching my pet and they bought him a little bed.
Yeah.
I'd love that.
I don't think it's, it's your mom, and I don't think it's anything that bad, but.
Yeah, my family, I mean, shit.
Yeah, Yasik said my cats do not like those beds.
Yeah, it's probably one of them things where some cats like it, some cats don't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Wes says, cats just lay where they want. So they prefer boxes or something else. So maybe kind of a waste of money, just so you know. John, we were talking the other day about the iguanas. I was just taking a little walk, and I saw at least 8 or 9 iguanas. I saw 9 iguanas. That was my iguana count.
All right, so that's the record I have to beat now.
Yeah, 9. Just kind of around the little, it was around, one of those fake lakes.
They love them lakes.
Yeah. So, yeah, they did. There were 3 of them just chilling right there. And all the other ones, the what is it, a mess, I think it is? You call them a mess? I saw a mess of 5 of them were chilling on the other side of the lake.
Denny's got them falling out of that big-ass tree all the time. And they don't fall lightly.
No, but they can fall 40 feet and not hurt themselves. So I guess they're okay. They rebound. But with so many iguanas now in South Florida, I think the market for iguana meat is going up. John said, I thought you might find this interesting. There's actually a huge market for iguana meat. In the Caribbean, it's known as the chicken of the trees. And exotic meat market offers skin-on whole wild iguana. The average weight of skin-on iguana is 2 to 3 pounds each. For centuries, iguana has been consumed in the Caribbean. And you can buy, for sale, 5 pounds.
Yeah, I'm going to vomit.
Wow. Okay, so people are legit. I'd try it. You know, where I'm from, they eat everything. I mean, in my time, I've had squirrel and possum and all kinds of stuff. I mean, they eat everything.
You give me iguana and don't tell me it's iguana, I'm punching you, and I'm a pacifist.
Yeah.
I do not.
If somebody tried to pass it off as chicken.
Oh, my gosh. First of all, people should never lie about food they give you. And people do that sometimes. Oh, here, it's chicken. No, it's not. It's raccoon nose.
Right. No, you got to be honest with people. That ain't cool. To ever give somebody, have them consume something that they don't know that they're eating. Angie from Pompano said, you guys were talking about serial killers and scary stories. And I wanted to share my mother-in-law's story that she had told me. She said it was in the late 70s, and she was a teenager, and her friend were out hitchhiking.
Uh-oh. Murderers love hitchhikers, especially in the 70s.
Mm-hmm. Well, one day they decided to hitchhike, and they got picked up by 2 guys in a van. While riding in the back, she pointed to the door and noticed that there were no door handles from the inside.
That's a trick murderers do. Serial killers love taking it because that's how they trap their victims.
So they're riding along, getting a little alarmed, noticing that there are no door handles on the inside, and then they get to their exit. And they ask, hey, this is our exit. The guys drive right past it in silence.
This is every murder documentary I ever watch.
Then one of the guys turned to the other one and said, you're not going home? When in that moment, the other guy turned to him and said, no, I'm tired tonight. Wasn't long after that, they let him out of the van on the side of the road. She doesn't know what the real intentions were, but she said that it was the last time she ever hitchhiked.
Wow. So do you think they had a change of heart?
It sounds like the one guy was just too tired to murder, which, I mean, it would take a lot of energy. I would think you probably want to get a good nap, probably want a carb load.
I bet you there have been times in the history of serial killers where they planned on having a murderous night and they get up, they go, you know what?
It's a lot. It's a to-do.
My arm's hurting.
You got blood. I'd have to carry somebody. It's just,
I ate too much. I'm full.
Yeah. Right. Not tonight.
Well, they even said that with the Golden State Killer, that he was very athletic and strong, and then he finally kind of met his match, and the dude got some good licks on him, and he almost got his ass not only beat but killed, and he got away, and that kind of changed his ways a little bit. He kind of smartened up slightly. Hey, he was arrogant.
I imagine that's why a lot of times you do see that the serial killers, they go after women. Like the Gilgo Beach murderer, that guy up there on Long Island. It's all women.
And a lot of times I think it's, not all times, but I think a lot of times, especially when you're talking about random women, I think it's, there's a sexually motivated, like a bad sex thing motivated in there.
Yeah, that gets in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had somebody sent me a podcast of the murder that happened in my hometown when I was a little kid. And, it's a good story. Yeah.
That's a creepy one. They've had a few little documentaries on that.
Yeah, that one's that one for people who don't know the story. It was creepy because the 2 teenagers, they went missing and they were dismembered, and then their body parts were buried in the shape of a pentagram, which they thought forever it was devil worshippers that had rolled through town. Like I told you, I mean, those devil worshippers are, they're there, but they're out in the hills.
Oh, and they love October, close to Halloween.
It was. I remember it was Halloween because I was a little fat kid and they canceled Trick or Treat. I was so upset.
I think that's what made the special I saw creepy, because there was a big kind of a Halloween theme around it.
Yeah, I remember it was in the fall. It was getting chilly. It was right around, and it was just, so you had all that going on, and they found their heads floating down the river and all that kind of stuff.
That's why I love the original Halloween movie, because it's based around just the whole day of Halloween. And the first one is somewhat realistic, where a dude escapes from a mental institution.
Yeah.
He comes to a small town to find his sister, to kill her, and he kills a bunch of teenagers as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's somewhat that could happen.
That could happen.
And that's why it's creepy to me.
Yeah. Do you up your horror movie watching game this time of year?
Oh, I've been watching a lot of horror movies.
Which one did you watch recently?
I watched Scream the other day. I watched Halloween.
Okay.
And I might jump into some Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, I remember that original was good.
The original Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
I look at it now and I go, I can't believe I watched it as a little kid.
I remember the first 3, I think, were all pretty solid.
They are. Freddy Krueger, as funny and as, cheeky as he is, he's fucking horrifying. Especially in the first one. They show him running down the alleyway,
right,
and his arms are really long.
Yeah,
and
I think I remember that
scraping the
scene.
nails.
Yeah.
And then she falls asleep in class, and she sees her friend who gets murdered in a body bag getting scraped along the school hallway with blood coming out of it and worms in her nose.
Yeah, right.
It's fucking
It
trippy.
It is.
Yeah, that's a good horror movie.
Yeah, they were good. Dawkinn did the theme for the third one. Dream Warriors.
Dream Warriors, yeah.
Yeah, remember that? How cheesy that song was?
Yes.
If you're looking for some stuff to check out, I'm right now trying to work my way through the Menendez documentary and mockumentary. So that's interesting. I've seen some people, too, that have watched both, and they come away not knowing who to believe and still don't really have an opinion on it. So I'm going to try to get through that this weekend.
I don't know that case that well. I was thinking about diving into it just because so many people in the chat room and then sending me messages had an opinion about it.
Yeah.
On both sides.
That's just kind of it. And, when we did that poll yesterday, it's 60-40, as to whether or not they should be released or not. So.
And then there's some people who believe that happened to them but still think they shouldn't have murdered. That was other emails I was getting.
Yeah, because the argument for that is they were old enough, they could have just left the house. They didn't have to murder anybody. And, did the mom deserve it? That's what it came down to.
Yeah, and I think when it comes to that kind of stuff, even though that was terrible stuff done, I don't think you can kill somebody unless there's a threat to you. You just can't show up at somebody, and no matter if it's...
Right. It was premeditated. They bought shotguns specially for it, and the parents were at home, and, they...
Now, in the eyes of street justice...
Yeah. It wasn't like, the dad was abusing them that night, and they said, enough's enough, and, it was... and then they went out on that spending spree, and that's what kind of made it look bad, too.
But then you go, how does the one guy from Texas get away with it when he shot the one guy that was molesting his son? He wasn't in any threat, but he did shoot him and kill him, and he got off.
Yeah.
Did he kill him? Or I think he killed him.
I think so. I don't know if that's legend or if that's a real story. I think I remember that.
I think that's a real story.
Yeah.
But that's also kind of a rarity, kind of a case where they go, yep.
It's Texas.
It was justified.
He did it in the right state.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you try something like that in another state, it's probably not going to go that way for you. But yeah, so that's another thing to check out. Some other things going on is this show Shrinking on Apple TV. It's got Harrison Ford in it. Jason Segel is a therapist who challenges norms by bluntly advising clients, leading to transformative impacts, it says, and they just got renewed for a season 3. I've heard people say that's good.
Well, I like both of them. I think they're both good on the screen.
Yeah, that might be one to check out, is Shrinking. They're also doing a Dune prequel series, Dune Prophecy. It's going to debut on HBO Max with 6 episodes starting on November 17th.
That's what I'd like to ask the people. If you know my personality and what I like to watch, would I get into Dune, or would that not be my cup of soda?
I was pleasantly surprised. I watched the 2 movies, and I'm kind of excited for the third. I enjoyed it.
You think I'd like it? It looks kind of Star Warsy.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I think the storyline, the characters, the plot, it moves. Yeah, I liked it.
The other one I watched the other night that I think it's such a good franchise, and I kind of feel like no one talks about it anymore, is The Hunger Games.
Right, yeah.
I thought Jennifer Lawrence did a really good job as Kat.
Right.
That's a good franchise that I kind of feel like it's been lost.
Yeah, it has kind of gone quiet.
And then they did a prequel, I think. And I don't remember that.
Yeah, I didn't watch any of those. I'm not sure that those were great. I think I heard mixed reviews on that.
All right.
Yeah, so I don't know if I'd worry about that. But yeah, this Dune prequel series explores the origins of a powerful order of witches set 10,000 years before the events of the Dune movies.
Witches, huh?
Witches, yeah. There's kind of a witchy element to Dune. But it's not like in a corny way. It's just that I didn't think it was. Yeah, I thought it was actually kind of cool.
I got a lot of witch in my life.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. You sure I do less witch? I get it. Let me see here. Got an email about Tri-Rail. Thank you, Yami. She said, yeah, it's free for Palm Beach County students, and some schools have a school bus that will pick them up at the Tri-Rail. That's great to know. My son rides from Lake Worth to 45th Street Tri-Rail, 2 stops, and the school bus is there to take them to Suncoast High. They have about 20 kids on the train from Boca. So they go to Suncoast. Not sure if Boca High has that option since it's not a choice school, but sure, an Uber from the station would be cheaper than Brightline. Okay. Thank you. Have to check that out. And Dorothy said, hey, I listen to you guys every morning, and this morning I happened to hear Kevin say that he was a softball dad. Well, my husband's also a softball dad. He started my daughter when she was 4 years old and didn't miss a game. He was her coach at Duncan Middle. We do travel ball every weekend for softball and her best friends. And her coach and her biggest fan, he always talked about her playing high school ball and college ball and would follow her through her career. Well, the second year of Duncan, he passed away from a sudden heart attack, and it devastated her. But she started coaching softball, and Duncan helped when she got to Jupiter High School in her first year. She also played for Jupiter High School. Last game, she cried and broke down. She just couldn't do it anymore. This is her senior year, and she said that she just wants to go out and try out. I just want to know what I do to help her to get back into softball lessons, etc. If you could please help. I just want her to follow her dream and her father's dream. Okay. You're in a good area, the Gardens Jupiter area. You know, my daughter played for Gardens, and there's a lot of softball interest there. Duncan, in fact, is a very good school for softball. Jupiter is very good for softball as well.
Your daughter played for the Garden City, right? She didn't play for the high school.
No, yeah. She played for her high school in Boca that she went to play softball. But yeah, Gardens is very good. Gardens High School is very good. Jupiter High School is very good. And there's a Rhino softball. That's where she took her lessons from. You can probably just go online and find them if she's still in the game. I don't know if she is. It's been 10 plus years that my daughter was. But yeah, if you just go up there, Lake Catherine is where they do the recreational games and Gardens. That's probably your area. You could go there, and sometimes they just pin stuff up, people that do lessons, or just ask somebody. Because at each park, there's somebody that does lessons.
That's what I used to do back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, you make good money doing it.
Well, especially when I was doing lessons, I would do it with little kids up to high school. But the Gardens, and especially the Jupiter area, there's a lot of rich parents out there that really want to spend money on their kids.
They do. I mean, it's a pretty good line of work. I know a lot of lessons. I think back in the day when we would do them for my daughter Kayla, I think it was like $45 an hour, something like that.
Yeah, and
or maybe even a half hour.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah.
And if you get some cool, I had to get out of that game because the parents really started to rub me the wrong way. If you have more than 3 psychotic parent moments, you go, all right, this is fucking crazy. There was this one dad, he was this Cajun guy, and he would always just make sure he would yell at his kid if his kid wouldn't, hit the ball right in the batting cage, and he'd go, I said, run around that lake now, run. And the kid didn't want to run, and he'd start crying, and I'm giving a lesson.
Not fun,
I'm going, this is terrible.
It is terrible. Yeah, and the kid's gonna have terrible memories. Look, the one thing I learned from it that I would tell anybody who's got a young kid that is starting into sports, do it for fun. Do it for discipline. Do it for camaraderie and the friends that they're going to meet. Do it because it'll give them a nice outlet to go out and run and play and do fun things. Do not make your kid feel bad for not playing well. Do not put expectations on them that they've got to play in college or be great or make all-star teams or things like that. You're doing it wrong. The kids got to love it. And a lot of kids get burnt out because their parents are dicks about it. And they just don't want to play anymore.
I would say it's 40% dicks, 60% cool parents.
Mm-hmm. And, there was probably moments I think I was a little too intense with it, and it took a little bit of time. I had a moment of clarity with Caitlin because, I was demanding of things, and I was like, hey, you got to do this, you got to practice, you got to blah, blah, blah. And finally I just said, what am I doing? It's like it was affecting our relationship. And I was like, I'm doing this to try to bond with her and to make our relationship better, not worse.
And a lot of times, too, when you're talking about people that want to play, if they really want to play, it's almost a passion in their heart and their blood. And if they want to stick around and do it, they'll do it most of the time without someone being on their ass about it.
After Caitlin, we took a different approach with Cannon, and we just put him in the recreational fun things. And I said, hey, if you ever want to try out for something or you want lessons, you let me know. But it's all on you. I'll provide what kind of training you would like and get you to the camps and all that kind of stuff if you desire. But I'm not going to sign them up for you, and I'm not going to make you go.
I would love to do a documentary on parents in the rec system, like the recreational baseball, little league, softball
it's
world.
Like Dance Moms.
It is. It really is.
Yeah, but you could do it with really any sport. And it's usually first-time parents, and it's, oddly enough, it's the younger they are, the crazier they are. It's so nuts.
I think about some of the games back when I was younger that you thought meant the world. Mm-hmm. If you didn't win this game, your life is over.
Right. It's so crazy.
It didn't mean diddly dick.
It doesn't mean a thing. It really doesn't. Yeah, you got to do it for the right reasons, not the wrong reasons. I think sports is absolutely amazing, but just unfortunately, too many parents, they don't have the right perspective getting into it. And it takes a little bit of time. So there you go. All right, there's my thoughts on parenting today. Don't listen to anything I really ever say.
I thought you were a great softball coach.
Thank you. We won that championship, Bird.
We did.
That's right, baby. We won, baby. All right, y'all. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday. Goodbye.